Okay, so what we are going to discuss today is demand, supply and market equilibrium. We are going to talk about demand, supply and market equilibrium. We will be discussing about what are the factors, what are the various. Now when we talk about demand supply, there is a circular channel which comes into picture where we have two things. One is called firm and another is called households. Absolutely. So we have firm, we have household. So we are going to talk about how do the firms react, how do the households react. Okay, what are the factors that leads to the reaction in households, what are the factors that leads to the reaction in firms. Okay, what are the inputs, which is called input market or factor market, and which is called product market or output market. So let's see. The basic outline goes as we will be talking about what do we mean by demand, what do we mean by law of demand. We are going to talk about law of supply. We are going to talk about factors that affect demand and supply. What do we mean by the quantity demanded, how are the graphs plotted, and how is the market equilibrium achieved. Okay. So let's first understand the two basic units which are there in an economy. The first unit that we talk about is called firm. The second unit that we talk about is called households. Okay. So what is a firm and a household? Let's see. I have a firm and I have a household. So basically household is important for consumption. Let me know if you have any doubts. Firm is responsible for production. Okay, so if I make a circular flow, something will be there in clockwise formation. Okay, something will be there in anti-clockwise. Let's see what it is. If I talk about firm to household, what is that? That is going from firm to household. Consumption. What are the products that we consume? Firm to household I'm talking about, which means firm is the body which is producing things. So what is it producing? Either goods or services, right? So I have goods and I have services here. Okay. And when I talk about households to firm, what is going from households to firm? Factors of production, which might include land, labor, capital. Okay, now we are not including entrepreneur here. Why? Because entrepreneur is an old concept. Now we don't take entrepreneurship into consideration. It will only be that households are giving land, household is giving labor, household is giving capital, whatever it can give. Okay.
Can we define firm as smallest identical unit being a resource allocation?
Being?
Making a resource smallest identical unit being a resource allocation.
Absolutely, you can. It will depend upon whether it's a large scale firm or it's a small scale firm. Okay. Now let's see here. I have another anti-clockwise circular notation. What is this anti-clockwise? What is going from firm to consumption? What is going from firms to households?
For labor is salary and wages.
Right.
Capital is interest.
Absolutely. For land we are getting rent. Okay. So wages and salaries goes here. What is going from firm to household? For land I am getting rent. For labor I am getting wages and salaries. For capital I am getting interest. Okay. So wherever I am investing money in any firm or anywhere, I am getting this thing as an output. Okay. Now let's see what goes from household to the firm in anti-clock motion. What? Consumption of goods and services. Absolutely. Consumption of goods and services. So I can see here that we have two clocks, one anti-clockwise, one clockwise, where we can see how the circular motion comes into picture. Okay. So let's see how they are defining things. Firm, an organization that transforms. Now first of all you have to understand firm and households. Which of them is an output market? Firm. So it will be known as, students, output market or product market. And this is known as input market or not consumption but factor. Input, you can note it down. The households are known as the households are known as input markets or factor markets, while the firm is known as product market or output market. Okay, why? Because they are making output and these people, they are giving input. So how do we define firm? An organization that transforms resources, which means inputs, to make products. Yes. We will come to that. We'll come to that. I have a circular notation PPT. We'll see that. Okay, I'll tell you. An organization that transforms resources into products and outputs, which means, what are we talking about here? We're talking about that a firm is a place where we are taking inputs from the households and we are making outputs, and we are making outputs for whom? For the households, because anything, I told you, anything that we are making is for the consumption. If I'm not making anything which is for the consumption, then there is no point making that good, right? Because now everybody wants profit. Firms are the primary producing units in a market economy, and households are the primary consumption units in a market economy. Who is an entrepreneur? Now, can you give me a difference between an entrepreneur and a manager? An entrepreneur or a businessman, to be precise. An entrepreneur and a businessman. What's the difference? Yes?
The entrepreneur is one who starts something new, different than what is in the market.
Even a businessman does that, right?
He's a creative person. I mean,
businessman even can come up with new creative ideas, and he can be a creative person. Absolutely, that's the reason. Okay, entrepreneur is a person who has the ability to take risk, while a businessman need not have the capability or ability to take risk.
When a businessman starts a new venture, he's also taking a risk.
He's absolutely taking a risk. Now, when he is ready for the risk, he is not known as a businessman, he is known as an entrepreneur.
A businessman will always take a risk no matter what.
Not necessarily, Swapnil. You can go and you can check. That's why I'm telling you. Okay, now when we talk about businessman and when we talk about entrepreneur, an entrepreneur is a person, you will always see that when we define an entrepreneur is a person who has the ability to take risk, who wants to come up, who has the willingness to go and produce things, but as well as side by side, he should have the ability to take and handle risk, if any risk at all comes into the business. Risk is the main thing for an entrepreneur. Okay, so next is, we saw firm, we saw entrepreneur, we saw households, the consuming units in an economy. Input market and output market. Now, product market, as I told you, here we have, okay, product market or output market, as I told you here, this is the firm which is producing output and product. So this is a product and output market. The market in which goods and services are exchanged. Are exchanged for what? Are exchanged for money. Are exchanged for money. The consumption unit is giving the producing unit money. So that's why this thing is happening. Next we have input or factor markets, the market in which the resources used to produce products are exchanged, which means input or factor markets is the consumption part and output and product market is the producing part. Now let's see this. This is again the same circular flow diagram. Now what do we have here? I have a party here which is called firms. I have a party here which is called households. Let's see what they give and what they take. Firms, they supply in output markets. What do they supply? See here, it's going clockwise, goods and services. They are sending goods and services to the households, which is the demand for these people. Now this demand is causing supply of something. What are they supplying to these people? They are supplying land, labor, capital, which means they are supplying the factors of production. So this was about the clockwise motion. Let's see the anti-clockwise motion. Now this anti-clockwise motion goes as payment and payment. What are they paying? As absolutely told here, wages and salaries, rents and interest are being paid here. Okay, here is a correction. So this payment goes in the form of, again these households, they are also paying to these people. What are they paying for? The goods and services. So this means this consumption, the money spent on consumption of goods and services, which means the upper circle is only talking about the money and the payment part. Who is paying whom and on what basis who is paying to what party. Is this clear? this is input market. We talk about, this is the input market, households, and this is the output market. Wages, salaries and rents. They are paying wages, salaries and rents, which is in the form of, if you see the outside circle, it's only about money. Who is exchanging money to whom and in what context? Okay, here you can see this is the factor on behalf of which the money is being exchanged. Now these people, households, are giving land, labor, capital. Now for instance, you owe somebody some money. There's a firm which comes up and which says you, okay, you invest some money with us, what I'll do, monthly I will give you some interest. So on behalf of that interest, you feel, okay, this money is going to be idle. If I put it somewhere, then I can earn some interest, as well as I will be getting the principal back in some time. Okay, so what am I doing is, household is giving them this thing on behalf of something, because we know that at the end we want something in return, right? So I am giving my land, labor and capital, land, labor, land, and then firm is giving me payment. What is firm doing with all this? Firm is making goods and services, and I, being the consumption part, if I need to enjoy the goods and services, what do I have to pay to the firm? Money. This is what is happening. I am the household, I am paying the money for these goods and services, which is again going back to the firm. Okay, so there is one clock, there is one anti-clock. The anti-clock talks about the payment part. Is the doubt clear? Yes.
Is wages and salaries the same thing?
No, wages and salaries are not the same thing. Yes.
Wages are not permanent, while salaries are permanent.
Wages are being given to the workers who work on a daily basis, okay, and salaries are being given to the people who work on a monthly basis. That's the difference. Now let's see what are the markets where this thing comes into picture. I have a labor market and I have a capital market. Here I'm talking in terms of factors of production, students. Okay. Now let me go through and understand that what are the various factors of production, what is the market where I do what. Okay. Now the first thing is labor market. What is labor market? What am I giving to the firm? First of all, understand who is giving to which party. Labor market, where the households are giving labor to firm. Okay, we will be talking about household firm, or we will be talking about input and output, where input represents the households and output represents the firm. So what is the labor market according to you? That's fine. What is the labor market? What it is doing? It is giving
Household supplying labor to the
household supplying labor to the firm. The input market, in which households supply work for wages to firms that demand labor. Okay. Now, why am I talking about only labor here? Why am I talking about only wages here? Why am I not talking about salaries here? Because I am talking about a general tendency, which is labor, and we don't associate labor with the people who get salaries. Okay. So that is why I am talking about labor. Next, I have capital market. Now, what is capital market? You remember we spoke about something in the previous week, something called wealth and income. How do we define wealth? Somebody from the back? Savings are wealth.
adding on to your investments.
Adding on to your investments, which has been inherited, right? Which has been inherited or which has been saved over a period of time, right? And what is income? Subtracting all the losses. Okay, subtracting all the losses or subtracting all the expenses that I have to meet out in a particular given period of time. That is what is income. Okay. Now, when I talk about income and wealth, obviously, if I have wealth, if I have some wealth other than my income, I am expected to be a little rich other than the person who has only income and no wealth, right? So what am I trying to say in the capital market? Capital market I'm talking about that I am giving money. What am I doing? I am giving money to whom? To the firm, because this is all parts of input market. Okay. So the input market in which households supply their savings for interest or claim for future profits to firms that demand funds to buy capital goods. You remember capital and consumer goods, right? Rich becomes richer, poor becomes poorer. So in a developed country, when we talk about, we have more of capital goods, right? While in a poor country, we have less of capital goods. You remember the PPF we discussed? Right. Okay, so capital market is nothing but where we are talking about the money supply. Who is giving money for what? Of course, the household is giving money to the firm, right? Next I have the land market. Now what am I doing? I have a land, a factory person comes to me or an entrepreneur comes to me and he says, you have a huge land, why don't you give me this particular land for a lease of 99 years? I say that, okay, what are you going to give me back? He says, I'll give you an interest on a quarterly or a monthly or an biannually basis. Biannually, we understand? Right, on a biannually basis, and based on that I am going to, based on that finally in the end I will be giving you back either your land or I'll be renewing the lease again and again. Now just for instance students, we have an idle land which is there, okay, I have an idle land which is there. I feel, okay, if I give this to a bank particularly for a lease, then obviously they are going to renew it. Okay, after every 99 years or after every 49 years or something, there is period of lease. Okay, now I believe that this thing idle is not fetching me any money. Why not to put it on a lease? I will be getting some interest. So what will I do? I'll end up giving that land? Yes or not? Right. So that is what they are doing here. The input market in which households supply land or other real property in exchange for rent. Okay, if I'm giving it for lease or if I'm giving it for rent, I am actually getting something out of it, right? So these three components include our input market or factors of production. Factors of production, the inputs into the production process, land, labor and capital are the three key factors of production. We clear with this? Great.